Day before yesterday, a pilot working in Lagos airport came out from the flight and then was using the main terminal building of arrival, and he noticed that the 4 wall clocks that's supposed to be reflecting the time of London, of New York, of United Arab Emirates, and of course of China, that none of them was working correctly. In fact, they had stopped working, and he wrote as he tweeted that he's very sure that the problem of these clocks do not pass more than battery, but nobody has been able to check it, and it's under the custody of people. It's an office. There are people that have that responsibility, and before you can say Jack, they're under 24 hours. I saw the tweet of FAN, also airport authority, and they wrote that those clocks have been restored. It's the same clock, so definitely they changed battery. And you can see problem of Nigeria, a big office. For some of us who are quite familiar with that terrain in Lagos, they have money. Yes, Lagos and Abuja airport make money. Their returns are very quite huge. Even like a place like Lagos, there is a toll gate they have inside that airport that people used to connect from Airport Road to Ikeja side. Just once you pass there, you have to pay to 500, 300, depending on the car. Even if you pass there 10 times a day, you must pay. So it's just one way. And we know they make a whole lot of money. And it's supposed to be a very noble office. Can you imagine? So if this man didn't actually bring it to the social media, it could have just been there. And under 24 hours, they were able to do something. They did not change the clock. It's still the same clock. So which means that nobody, those who are supposed to be of service, they are not. We don't have servants in Nigeria. Our workers are not servants. What everybody is looking after. If there was a money hidden at the back of that clock, I am telling you, that's where you will see somebody. I am the one in charge. Before you turn your eyes to the left, the money has gone. Somebody has stolen the money. That is we. It's not about those working in airport. That is our situation, we Nigerians. And you can imagine that. And that is why, for me, not just Jesus trying to dissuade these people that, they were talking that Jesus is in the house of a tax collector. That why does he mingle with sinners, with sinners and tax collectors? And he said he's a sick that actually need the doctor. Of course, in this sense, he's the doctor. And I want to say also, by extension, that yet it's actually the sick that will be healed. Not just is the sick that needs the doctor. The healthy does not need the doctor. And at the same time, if the sick needs the doctor, it is the sick that will be healed. The healthy cannot be healed. The healthy is already in good health. So it's only the sick that can be healed. Why am I putting it that way? And then for us to also come to see, if it is only the sick that can be healed, we come to see also that it is those who need the Lord that the Lord knows what to do in their life. That is the way I'm seeing it. In our third day of the Divine Settlement Novena Prayer Booklet, it says, in midst of your angels, O Lord, we will praise you. I come actually to see that angels are the servants of God, and they are carrying out the instructions of God, and they are carrying out their duty judiciously. They are doing it wonderfully well. And that is why today is not just, we are not at the mercy of airport workers, we are at the mercy of the angels of God. If the airport workers can be negligent, the angels of God can never neglect their duty. And that is why we are praying on this third day, that we are under the assistance of the angels. Let the angels of God come and help us. Why not? I don't know whether you noticed one thing in the first reading today. Continuation of that Isaiah 58 we read yesterday, and today coming to talk about things we still do as a good way of carrying out our duties in prayer, in fasting. Unlike what was said yesterday, today it emphasized, and that is verse 13, it emphasized that we must keep the day of the Lord holy, Sabbath. Sabbath is the seventh day that the Lord created, and we read in Genesis 1 that he said, keep the Sabbath day holy. But now we are taking our Sunday as the day of the Lord, because Mark 16:1 said that on Sunday morning, on the first day of the week, the Lord rose. And then we know that Jesus Christ is actually a symbol of salvation for us. So that is how we are now using Sunday as a day of worship. But there are still people who are Sabbatarians. Everybody here knows. But so I'm not here about whether 7th day or the first day. But it's the first reading today not only said about Sabbath day, it said the day of the Lord, keeping it holy. And it particularly mentioned that people are selling on the day of the Lord. People are gossiping on the day of the Lord. People are dissipating energy, engaging themselves on the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord that we're supposed to just use it as a day to rest and give in honor of the Lord. But this time, many of us do not even know that it's sinful for us to do business on Sunday. What matters to us is that we are looking for money, and then when you look for money against the wish of your God or against keeping the commandment of God, will that money actually come? But why I am bringing it here is actually that once we are able to honor the day of the Lord, that the God word says that we should not walk on a holy day, on the day of the Lord. Then what happens? We may not be walking. Some people are so much very desperate to make the money that if you don't go to shop on Sunday, it's as if to say you are losing anything. That is where the angels of God come in now. There are many things God is doing in our lives secretly. There are many messages that God is actually running for us through the help of the angels, and many a times we do not know this. But it means that we must actually be in good condition with the Lord. We must be resilient and we must be righteous. And once we do that, why not? The angels of God are there to carry out the message sent to God for you through them. And that is the only way that we will be able to know that it doesn't matter. You cannot be doing everything at the same time. There is an opportunity also for the Lord to work in your life. Today we are praying that the angels of God shall be available in our life. But it's good also for us to know that for the angels to be there to serve the will of the Father, that we must be ready to allow the will of the Father to prevail in our life.